What's going on, friends? James Nguyen here with the Alpha Red Comic Channel. Thank you for joining me for a Sunday night draw stream. Today is Star Wars Day, so live long and whoa! Is it fighting words? Are them fighting words? If I do this and bid you a live long and prosper. Today is Star Wars Day, not Star Trek Day. It's not Star Trek Day. What am I thinking? Shame on me. Hopefully you guys are in on my little joke. Just want to say hi to the folks in the chat. Mr. Pong in the house. Original trilogy, please. We shall see, sir. You can change my mind. I have a sketch started, but my mind can be changed. What's going on, Mr. Patrick Daniel? Good to see you. So we'll let some people trickle in here. We'll give it a little bit, and while we wait, I'm gonna pitch to you my let me see if I can get the right screen going. Here we go. All right, so Alpha Red number 7 is coming. It's coming very soon. I'm hoping to launch it on May 12th at 8:30 p.m. That's a Monday, not tomorrow, but next Monday, if I can get everything together. I'm about 2.5 panels away from being done with all the pencils, and the inker has I think he has up to page 13. I do have all the other pages kind of done and ready, but sometimes when you give the inker like everything, it feels overwhelming. So he has once he gives me the next batch of 6 back, I will give him the next batch of 6. Brother Reverend Saber in the house. He is ready for some Star Wars action with the Reverend Saber. We shall see. I'm not familiar with Reverend and Reverend's Saber, so I assume that's a Star Wars reference there, Rod. I'm not familiar with the more newer Star Wars stuff. But here's the cover to Alpha Red number 7. That is being colored as we speak. I was hoping that the colorist would have that ready to go. But we are going to draw a Star Wars character. Mr. Fong is asking for an original trilogy. Anybody have any suggestions? Any? Thank you, sir. Thank you, Daniel. Patrick Daniel. Thank you for the kind words. This is the inks. These are the pencils, and then I have JC Grande inking my stuff. He's a digital inker. I did throw some things in. I threw in some old backgrounds that I drew from another comic book just to fill in some of the stuff. But you can see how he brings a different kind of energy to my artwork. So there is the inks. This is what I sent him, dirty pages and all, and then he comes at me with just a different kind of vibe to it. So, and I appreciate that. I'm not scared for people to change it up just a little bit. I don't want too much change. I did adjust some things when he sent it back to me, and I am working on fixing up the inks that I don't prefer over here. Just some minor touches. I don't want to say that I overdo it, but I do. I'm just going to click through real quick here, guys, and then we're going to get to the Star Wars art. Alpha Red number 7 is coming this month. I will start the crowdfunder on Fund My Comic. I'm going to try it on Fund My Comic, and I'm trying to figure out how much to ask for, because I can pretty much empty the war chest that I have and just do it on my own, but that doesn't do much for issue number 8 if I don't start filling up the coffers for issue number 8, and it doesn't pay for some of the things when I go off to a convention, like travel, hotel stay. That also comes out of the war chest. So I will be asking for some money to print it, to help out with the inks and the coloring and the lettering and all the things that make um, the comic done. Post-production is not kind to the document. So those are some images. I thought I'd grease the wheels, and hopefully you guys are as excited as I am for that. I'm gonna keep that down. Add this. Stop sharing that. Share my drawing board. Drawing board. All right. So, Robin Saber says, Revan is an Old Republic character. One bad individual. I will take your word for it. Maybe I'll look him up. Is he a lightsaber, light and dark side user? Whoa. Maybe I'll look up Revan. And I was going to do, all right, I'm going to show you the layout that I had. And I was going to do Darth Maul. But maybe I'll take a quick see. So, you guys, what do you think? Darth Maul? I might just stick with Darth Maul, because if I screw around on the phone too long, then it's not going to get done. It's just not going to get done. So we're just going to jump in here, guys, and we're going to do a Darth Maul. So Fong, I apologize, sir. I had my heart set on Mr. Darth Maul since I thought about doing a Star Wars thing. I realized, I think, when did I realize that it was going to be on May the 4th, sometime during this week, because I was going to do a Thunderbolts, because I started hearing good reviews on the Thunderbolts. So I thought maybe people would be into that. But then my daughter said, it's not going to be May the 4th again on a Sunday in a very long time. So why don't you take advantage of it? And so she convinced me this morning that it should be Star Wars related. Thus, we are going to get Mr. Darth Maul. So when I thought about it during the week, I was like, who would I draw? Because I don't know how fanatical you guys are about Star Wars. I've watched them all. I've watched all the movies. I have not watched all the Clone Wars and all the offshoot stuff. But the movies I have, and I like them all. Even the Disney stuff. I know that I got bad taste, guys, when it comes to some of this stuff, because I don't get out much. So it was okay. I didn't love it, but like The Force Awakens, I was super excited about the return of some new Jedi stuff. I mean, new Star Wars stuff. So I kind of like rode that wave of excitement, and I realized that it was like almost a rehashing of A New Hope, but I was okay with that. I was like, all right, it is what it is. It's Star Warsy. It felt Star Warsy, and then it started getting a lot of hate. The only one I really didn't like was the. I know that The Last Jedi gets a lot of hate, but what's the other one? The middle one, the Rian Johnson one. That one was probably the weakest one, I thought. So Maul is awesome. Thank you for the confirmation. I mean, I was like, when the prequels came out, I mean, I was just like over the moon about getting new Star Wars, and they were definitely mid. They weren't like the greatest things ever. But Darth Maul, man, I was so disappointed when he died. I was like, how can you kill off the coolest looking character in the whole thing? The movie was only cool because Darth Maul was in it. in my opinion. But Ray Park was in Savannah this weekend for a small comic book con. I actually met Ray Park at the Pittsburgh Comic Con way back in 2000. I can't even remember, but he was definitely there because he was Darth Maul, and I was able to give him a drawing that I did of the Darth Maul head, and he was super kind. Good people, Mr. Darth Maul. OSH Radio in the house, Mr. Crazy John. I moved my hand, and so this stupid camera is probably going to try to move on me. All right, I stopped it. All right, it's cool. Do whatever you were going to do. I hear you, Fong. I hear the attitude in there. Do whatever you want. I'm kidding. No, I appreciate it. May the 4th be with you. Yes, sir. Live long and prosper? No. Wrong franchise, right? May the 4th be with you. Happy Sunday, says Mr. Ernest. Thanks for showing up there, Ernest. Great to have you. James, watch the Clone Wars series. Enough said. That's what people have been suggesting that. I might take you guys up on that. I hear it is, if you can get past the hurdle of it being animated, it is well worth the time. That is what I have been told, and by multiple people. So that's I won't disagree. It's got to be good. Everybody says Clone Wars is where it's at. So we are gonna, if I find the time to add some Star Wars into my life, it will not be any of the new stuff, because some of the stuff makes me curious. Somebody was saying that they liked the Acolyte. Somebody that I kind of respect their opinion. They're like, I didn't mind the Acolyte. I like the lightsabers. It's like, what? I think it was somebody from Starcross Comics, which is the publishing company of Alpha Red. We have a forum, well, a Facebook group, not a group, the behind the scenes stuff, messenger group. And we were talking about Revenge of the Sith being out in theaters, and somebody was giving it some hate, others were giving it some love, and somebody just threw out there that they like the Acolyte because it had good lightsaber battles. I was like, maybe I'll check that out. I don't know. Any thoughts on the Acolyte? I know it didn't get many viewers because of the online controversies, and based on the controversies, I don't think that I would watch it because of the message. But anybody Acolyte fans out there? Let me see. Mom's cool. Yeah. This one, Patrick Daniel says, live long and sketch Star Wars already. Yes, sir. Happy Alpha Red Day. I gotta pick a day. I gotta figure out what day would be meaningful for me to celebrate the birth of Alpha Red. So I gotta comb through some emails or comb through some of the older images of Alpha Red, original sketches, and see if I can come up with a birthday for Alpha Red. That'd be cool. It was okay. I think people expect too much just to enjoy it for what it is. I assume you're talking about Acolyte. Yeah. So some people just like what the parts that they like. I don't like everything about every movie. There's maybe one perfect movie, Back to the Future or something like that. Like I love it like every time I see it. So, but otherwise, there's some bad acting here. There's a line or two there that you don't like, whatever. But Patrick Daniel says, haven't seen it, haven't caught up with most Star Wars beyond the movies. Yep, I'm with you right there. That's about as big a fan as I am I want to catch it in the theaters. I caught them all in the theaters, including when they remastered the original trilogy and put them out with the new effects and all that stuff. I went to the theaters and caught that. Did you go out for Free Comic Book Day? I did not. I was finishing up Alphabet number 7. So that is how I spent Free Comic Book Day. And we had some guests over for dinner today. And so I was preparing this drawstring, and some other things, and finishing up Alphabet. So I did not get out to the post Free Comic Book Day festivities. I don't know if they had festivities over at my local comic shop, but I did not make it out. I did want to go out today, but because of the guests that we had for dinner, I had too much to do around here before dinner. And so, no free comics for me. So, did you guys make it out to Free Comic Book Day? Did you like any of the free comics that you got? Anybody have any thoughts on Free Comic Book Day? Anybody go out? I live in a suburb, and so there are probably 3 comic book stores within 3 or 4 comic book stores within 15 minutes of me. So I could have easily drove around to see who was doing what on Free Comic Book Day. But I was sitting in my favorite drawing chair. It's my favorite everything chair. It's not your traditional man chair, like that kicks up. I used to have one of those too. I wore it out. I wore that thing out, and it did not survive. It did not make it up to New York. That was sold on Craigslist or whatever was going on at the time in 2015 online. I don't know if they had Facebook Marketplace in 2015. Were you guys into Darth Maul? Mr. Darth Maul? I had statues of him. I had the toy. Really, really into him. What year did Phantom Menace come out? Let me check on that. I feel like I had it before I got married, and it didn't make the move from the townhouse to the real house. The wife said it just would not fit in the moving truck or something. I had Bruce Lee. I was into Bruce Lee and Darth Maul for a couple of years. Anything Bruce Lee related, I was collecting. And they were coming out with like Bruce Lee action figures. Like, not action figures. What was it? They're like almost statues, but like action figure statues. You could move him a little bit, but like his legs didn't really move. Like his arms moved a little bit. And they had 2 or 3 different poses, and I had them all. I had both of them, all 3 of them, and then Darth Maul stuff. And when you get married, you got to pick your battles. Pick your battles, my friends. And Darth Maul was a little dusty, and she saw that. And she's like, that doesn't need to come. And alas, she won. I don't know how big a fight I put up. Because the kids were young. And was very tired all the time. Work and come home. Work and come home. That was my life for many, many years when the kids were young. Can you guys see this? Okay. I keep moving the thing around, the picture around. Let's see. Patrick Daniel says, I did get to meet David Prowse years ago. Very tall man. Is that Darth Vader? David Prowse? I got a cool story. Like I'm not a big enough fan to remember. Plus I'm 50 now, so things go in, things go out. But if David Prowse is Darth Vader, he came up to me at the Pittsburgh Comic-Con, and he was flipping through my artwork, and he said, "Did you draw this?" I said, "Yeah, I drew all these." He goes, "I like the way you draw the musculature," because he was like a weightlifter, and he's like, "Your anatomy for the musculature is very good." And I was like, "Thank you." Took the fam out to a free comic book day. Small deal here for fun. Nothing beats free. That's right. That did not do a free comic book day, but was there for new stuff on Wednesday. Yes. I hit 6 stores in the California Bay Area. Look at you. Home likes free. Reverend Saber said, "Yep, we made it to the shop. Haven't read anything yet." Anything you're excited to read, Reverend Saber? Anything you saw that you flipped through that was on your radar? Darth Vader, still my favorite. Yes. Very. He's you can't beat him. You can't beat Darth. 1999, I think. Okay, yeah, that makes sense because I would have had him before I got married. I got married in 2000, and so I would have the Darth Maul obsession predated my wife, and so when we moved from the townhouse to the new house, it would have been 2007-ish. And he's like, "You cannot come with us," including flying colors in Concord, California, which started Free Comic Book Day. I did not know that. Flying colors. I did not know that. So is this year the last Free Comic Book Day because Diamond is gone bankrupt? Yoda, my favorite, he is. Yoda, my favorite, he is. Very cool. Maybe time to invest in a new pencil there. Come on, baby. No. until I can't use it anymore. Until I cannot use it anymore. David Prowse equals Vader actor in the suit. Yes. So it was David Prowse who came up to me and gave me a compliment, letting me know that he liked how I drew the male physique because he was a weightlifter. The Energon verse book, yes. Oh man, I hope they have some extra. I hope my guys at the comic shop saved one for me. I don't know. They like me, they remember me, but I don't know if they remember me enough to save me a freebie. But I better make it out there within the next day or two. They're closed on Tuesdays. Yeah, so it was cool. The Pittsburgh Comic-Con was a very unique show for a long time. It felt like you could really hubnub with some movers and shakers. Like I met Joe Quesada before he became the EIC. I met Brian Michael Bendis before he got on to any of the books that made him famous, the Ultimate Spider-Man and New Avengers and all that stuff. So before he's doing Stray Bullets or 100 Bullets, Stray Bullets by Michael Bendis. he was getting some notoriety because of that. And I just remember that we were at an after party at the Pittsburgh Comic Con, and a guy from, I want to say Previews, so it would have been Diamond, he wanted to interview me because he had seen my artwork. We had a couple beers. He's like, "Oh, you're an artist. Let me stop by your booth tomorrow." And he stopped by and goes, "Wow, you're really good." And he was interviewing me and telling me about how hot Brian Michael Bendis was going to be, because his books were doing so well. But met Mark Singer from Beastman and Beastmaster. Met him at Pittsburgh Comic Con. He was super cool. I don't think he had much going on upstairs. He didn't seem like a really smart guy, but really smiley and like super fit. He wasn't walking around without a shirt on or anything, but like, the man worked out. Fong says, "I got one comic about Will Eisner that I'm looking forward to reading." Nice. That's nice. All right. What do you think here? Make sure these poses it's gonna work. Anything you're looking forward to, guys, as far as Star Wars, the new Mandalorian? Yeah, excited about that? Or the new Ryan Gosling Starfighter, something? There's talk about that from the director of Deadpool and Wolverine. Ryan Johnson still talking about a trilogy that nobody wants, apparently. Like I said, I don't get out much, so I enjoyed it. I enjoyed even the Ryan Johnson one, except for the milk, the green milk scene. That was very odd. And there was a casino scene, I want to say. I thought it was a little unnecessary. And the special effects were really bad in that scene, is all I remember. But I remember watching it with a bunch of guys from church. We went out as a guys' night thing. And afterwards, I was like, "Oh, I like that. It was pretty good." And everybody's like, "That was terrible." I was like, "Oh, I must not be a good fan, because I thought that was fine." So maybe we're all just over entertained and we have such high expectations, like OSH Radio said. Yeah, enjoy it if you enjoy it. I guess people, like, you don't become a fan. You don't call yourself a fan if you're not a little fanatical about the characters and the stories and things like that. So if you're that invested and they do something out of character for your favorite character, or a storyline, or it's not canon, if it's not like out of character, I guess is the best way to put it. You would be mad. And I think a lot of people spend a lot of time arguing about the Star Wars lore anyway, as we comic book enthusiasts do. their powers and the lore, and would they do this? Would they wouldn't do that? Who's more powerful? Things like that. Oh, also, I wanted to plug my new segment that I started called Can You Draw? So this Thursday is the second episode of Can You Draw, and it's called Can You Draw Iron Knight? And I sit down with Shay, and he introduces me to Iron Knight, and I show you the process of like an homage cover, because he wanted me to homage something, and I kind of go through the process of what I do when I'm trying to connect the thing that I'm currently drawing to something nostalgic, to pay respect to the thing, the original thing, while at the same time kind of trying to convince the person who likes the original thing as much as I like the original thing to give my book a shot. So I do an homage cover. I kind of walk you through that process with my version of that. Not everybody does it the same. All right, let's see what his. All right, he's got that going. That going. I think he has a little wishbone thing down here. And it's very specific. And I know that if you kind of get it wrong, it kind of doesn't look like Darth Maul. So, all right. Comes in close, dips down. Comes in close, dips down somewhere over here. And that's going to be black, blackety black. This will be mostly black. His ears, all black. And yeah, so I didn't even look at the Free Comic Book Day offerings. You know, sometimes they'll end up being collectible because they're part of a bigger story or whatever. They'll put it as a beginning of a story arc. They'll introduce a character or something like that. Let's see. He has one diamond there. Two diamonds there. And then when this wraps down, gotta get it just right. Much room here in his face. Maybe I should have put a slightly bigger picture. It's gonna look good. He thinks it's gonna look good. Me thinks. I think I am ready for his hands. Let's go. Knuckle finger, knuckle finger, knuckle finger. Fish right there. Kabamski. And then because it's leather, you do like the light in there, and then it trails off to the black leather on the sides of said thingamabobber there with the glove. All right. And I know that I've done this hand for Alpha Red, probably for Daredevil. But anytime they throw something, I think I did it for Batman too. Ninja Turtle, even though there's less fingers for a turtle. But like when you have a hand that works, because hands are hard to do. I don't know when the last time you guys tried to draw a hand. But kind of tough. If you get a hand that works, really, really be trying to stretch your skills if you leave your go-to hand and try something else. I know there is and I had the lightsaber too. I had a lightsaber that like extended. I don't know if it made any noise. This was like way back. It wasn't like the professional grade that you guys get now at the shows that I see. It was just like a big clunky thing. So I was all in on Mr. Darth Maul. What do you guys think? Dun, 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 dun. Close enough? All right, I'm going to take a picture so that we have documentation of the pencil version. And 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Like I'm taking a picture of somebody who might move. 1, 2, 3. Where am I? There. Oh, I forgot these parts of his. The tattoo on his forehead comes down, comes in, shoots in this way, so it has to shoot in this way. So like when you're drawing something that has like symmetrical things like this, where it's like kind of odd, they just do this side and that side so you don't forget. That's how I do it anyway. Just go back and forth so that you get the symmetry of it, because you're not going to remember it when you're drawing over here. And then you think, oh, do I go up? Do I go down? Do I cut over? And this guy connects with this little diamond up here, connects to the ones on the nose. Right on. All right. So we're going to pick a really small tip. So whatever this micron is that I have rubbed off. Oh, no, I even rubbed it off the top. How did I rub it off the top? That's almost impossible. See, it's supposed to be a number here. And I somehow magically rubbed it off the top of the thing. All right, let's go back. I missed Yoda. Did I? OSS H Radio. Mr. Crazy John says Yoda. They should do a movie based on Wedge and Antilles. Wedge Antilles. Is that the one pilot? Wedge. Went to local comic book store while I was doing a work thing and picked up G.I. Joe 1 through 3. Nice, Ernest. You haven't been picking up G.I. Joe? Bro, I hope you loved it. I hope you loved it because it is so good. If you didn't start off with the Duke miniseries, I would suggest like the Duke miniseries and the Cobra Commander miniseries. Those two are like gold, and they go they start the G.I. Joe thing. So it's like a prequel to the G.I. Joe 1, 2, and 3. The Blue Milk Saga. Yeah, the weirdness is what that was, Patrick. Oops. Ernest says also Absolute Batman 1 through 3. Yeah, so you'll have to tell me how much you like it or not like it, because it is violent and it's not really Batman. It's Batman-ish. But like I said, I'm not a Batman absolutist, so I was able to, and I've seen so many different iterations of Batman that it didn't faze me that it wasn't exactly Bruce Wayne, it wasn't exactly the Batman, it wasn't exactly Alfred. Alfred's really cool. I don't know if you like that. But Skybound Needs has been It's in James. A finder's fee. Yeah. Yeah, man. I'll take it. I'll just take free comic, honestly. Go G.I. Joe. Books are awesome. Yes. I know that Rod is also a true believer of the G.I. Joe and Transformers line. This drawing, not a skill you can learn from a Jedi. Just lots of practice. That's like lots of time in the swamp with Yoda on your back, jumping through the marsh. Ernest says, "Yeah, I was really surprised. I think I will catch up with the rest of the next order I do." Yeah. Don't miss out, bro. So good. And they do like if you don't have to have the individual issues, they do both in like a trade paperback of all 5 issues of the Duke miniseries and the Cobra Commander. So good stuff. Nice Emperor Patrick. All right, so we are ready for some ink, and we will start off with the eyes as we do, because they are the windows to the soul. And if you mess up the eyes, I'm going to flip this thing over, and we're going to start it. Okay. We got some white out. Handy. This is like surgery, because it's so small and precise, and that makes the mistake that much easier to make. If I make a mistake, it goes really bad really fast. With that, little diamond there, and then he's got like a little hook up here too. Forget the little hook, and then the little whatever squiggly line up there. And then we continue the darkness underneath. So in the Star Wars lore, is this just like part of his skin, or is this like they tattoo their face? It's like an MS-13 rite of passage. With every Jedi they kill, they add a horn, or they tattoo a patch over their eye or something. So is it, or is that just like their skin? It's like a leopard's spots or zebra's stripes. Sure, Reverend Saber would know. He's named after a Star Wars character, so I would hope, well, I would assume, I don't hope, I just assume that you would know if Darth Maul's markings on his face are just part of his skin. But I do believe I've seen other horned, tattooed people that he works with or fights with, or alongside of me, fights alongside, that kind of have similar markings, but not the same. And that would have been in the Clone Wars, right? Because Darth Maul is resurrected through the past storyline. Am I correct in remembering that the Clone Wars happened before the Phantom Menace? Is that true? Or did they bring him back? Oh yeah, because he has different legs. No, he has. They must have brought him back from the pit, because I think I've seen him with like spider legs or something. You can let me know. Anybody who might know, who has watched the Clone Saga. But yeah, somebody was saying, just get past the 3D animation and you'll forget that it's animation because the story is so good. So if I have time, there's so much good stuff. There's so much stuff that that people recommend, and totally worth it for sure. If you can find the time. But I'm trying to make Alpha Red too. I'm trying to make content because the stories, like, they want to live. I don't know how to explain it. If you're a creative person, maybe you can understand. But like, the ideas just fester in your head. Like Patrick Daniel has Red Phantom, and if you guys did not check out the episode of Can You Draw Red Phantom, consider checking it out. Because Patrick Daniel, you know, he still has that in his head. Has a 2-page story, is that right? Of his origin. You can pay somebody to make that origin come to life. Make Red Phantom come to life. Come to life, you must. But that's how I feel about Alpha Red stories. Just it won't let me not create them. Have this longer story, this bigger, sweeping epic, all with a conclusion. You know, it'll span some generations, and the middle parts can be filled back in, but it'll go through life. Get married, have his own family, train up the next Alpha Red. All part of the longer lore of Alpha Red. But I gotta get this story out. These next couple parts will probably take me about 4 years, just because I'm doing 2 or 3. I'm hoping to be able to do 3 a year in the next couple years, if I can figure out how to accelerate the speed at which I make Alpha Red, so that I can get to some of the stories that I really, really want to do. I really, really want to do all of them, honestly. I had a Ray, the writer of Red number 6, co-plotter of Alpha Red number 7. I reached out to him and I said, I had something planned for issue number 8. Actually, we were going to go back to, well, I don't want to spoil it, but we're going to do something for issue number 8. And then I reached out to him and I said, I have a different story for issue number 8. And then a different story for issue number 9 before we do what we were going to do next. And I can't wait to do all of it. So I'm spending a lot of time on his face here, just because Darth Maul is kind of all about these face tattoos. Or are they tattoos? I'll look up here to see if anybody has filled me in on whether or not they're tattoos or if they're just spots on his face. Cool, mean looking tattoo-ish spots on his face. So it swings back down, goes back up. Right there. So these markings seem pretty important to making Darth Maul look like Darth Maul. So we're going to spend a little bit of time on that, and then we can cuts out here. So that, and then got that mark. All right. Picking up some of those other parts, and then move on. Read what anybody has to say about Mr. Mall's face markings. Fill that in. Fill this in a little bit. Make the eyeball pop out a little bit. And eyeball pop out a little bit. Keep that more there. All right, that's gonna have to do for his face, because you don't want to just keep messing with it, because you could ruin it. I could ruin it anyway. You couldn't ruin it, but I definitely could. All right, we'll keep that, and we'll see. Let's see. Both Jojo, awesome. Let's see, the drawing is okay. Read that. Yeah, I was really surprised. I think I will catch up. The next order. Yep. Read that. Nice Emperor. Jay Scott in the house. What's up, James? Happy Sunday. Hope all is well. All is well, brother. All is well. You are here, so all is well. Patrick Daniels says, I love the 005 micron. I think it was great for those little details. Yeah, I would buy the set to get the 3 and 5 and 8 and give my kids the 1 and 2 and the 005. And it wasn't until recently that I can appreciate the 005s and the 1. Robin Saber says they are tattoos. Again, watch the Clone Wars series, man. I must. They're tattoos. Has nothing to do with Jedi. More of a culture thing. Gotcha. Clone Wars happened between episode 2 and 3. Okay. Very nice. Do check it out. James did a great job, and it was a lot of fun. Okay. I am gonna take that into account there. 2-page primer. Okay. Primer for the Red Phantom Origin. Gotcha. Script is ready to go on it. 2-page primer and an 8-page story ready to go. There you go. Well, you never know. He must live, Patrick. All right, so this is the 3. Okay, so this is good. This is good for the rest of it, I think. We're gonna get the energy flowing, right? I keep forgetting to remind myself about some of the things that I've been wanting to make sure that I include in my thinking, where it's more energy and contrast. So contrast would be like the shadows and stuff under here, so that the head like kind of pops out a little bit, and you can't have that without the contrast, unless you have some color, and we're not doing color. So, but never say never either. Never say never. So, any thoughts about next week's Sunday Night Draw stream? Any thoughts? Because if not, I'm just going to do Thunderbolts, because I assume that Thunderbolts is going to do well this weekend. I've heard good reviews and mediocre reviews. I have heard bad reviews, but not many. Any thoughts on Thunderbolts, and any thoughts on next week's? Because I tend to wait. I don't want to announce it, what it could be, because I do want to draw like things that are relevant. I don't want to say relevant, but it's like Darth Maul, not super relevant, but it's Star Wars Day, so there's good reason. And it's been ages since I've drawn Darth Maul, and I really enjoy it. I'm enjoying it very much. It's bringing me all those good memories. Mr. Ray Park. He's not very tall. I remember that. I was like, you're shorter than I thought. And I was sitting down when he walked past. And I said hi, and I gave him the super. Like, he's such a good celebrity. Like, I don't know how much of a celebrity he thinks he is, or he's just very humble, down to earth guy. And I appreciate that. Because I'm sure people are telling you very nice things about you all the time, and the danger is that you start believing it, and like your poop and stink kind of thing. And so, but that was not the case with him. He was just like super happy to be there, unlike some celebrity people who don't look like they are enjoying themselves. Same thing with David Prowse. Is it Prowse or Krause? Prowse? I know you said Prowse. And I thought it was maybe Krause. I'm misremembering. My 50-year-old brain. Misremembering again. But he was super nice. Ray Park was super nice. For sure. But I don't know how I feel about how, like, the amount of celebrities at some of these shows where they kind of suck the oxygen out of the room, you know, because they cost so much to get there, and their autographs are so much that it doesn't leave a whole lot of money in people's pockets to come around and buy Alpha Red and buy a sketch and some original artwork, and they're just gonna walk away with an autograph. Now maybe you're gonna sell it and make more money, but I think they're just fans who want to meet the stars. I get it. But like, do it at a fan expo or something that's definitely geared towards celebrity stuff. And us little guys have a chance. I'm trying to raise money to create new cool things. That's my selfish pitch for the celebrities to not come to comic book shows, and for promoters to not invite them. Have different shows for them. Have different shows. Now the promoter of the Hershey Comic Con, he does one in Mannheim. But I was talking to him. I've been doing shows with him for decades, and he says he prefers to have comic book shows, and he advertises them as comic book shows. And so the guests are comic book creators, writers, artists. You know, but it's not like crazy celebrity people that take all the money out of the room. I don't know if you guys go to comic book shows and how celebrities influence your buying habits. Autographs and such. No. Patrick Daniel is hoping to see the Thunderbolts this weekend, even with the asterisks. I found out what the asterisk is, so I was gonna try to not spoil it for myself, but I ended up listening too long to a spoiler review, and I found out what the asterisk was. Reverend Saber says story is that David Prowse helped Christopher Reeve train for Superman the movie. That's awesome because he was I didn't see until recently how big Christopher Reeve got for Superman. He was actually pretty swole. You know, he took it pretty seriously. It looked like in the training videos that I was watching. But yeah. So David Prowse, huh? Prowse? We'll get it right, guys. We'll get it right. One of these days. I don't think he's with us anymore, is he? Did he pass away? I want to say. That was one of many cool things that I experienced at the Pittsburgh Comic Con. Those was the days. And then it became known as MurderCon because the promoter was accused and convicted of killing his wife at his comic book store, thrown into jail, and then his current wife, sold the Pittsburgh Comic Con to Wizard magazine, and it became another Wizard Con, which was super duper expensive, full of celebrity people, and they moved it out of, I believe they moved it out of the Monroeville whatever that hotel was in Monroeville. Actually, I think they just moved it out of Monroeville because I think the hotel was eventually torn down anyway. But that'll be the contrast. This will be where the rendering, it's the contrast with the boot here, but this part here will be the cloth. Cloth of his pants, his cool baggy pants, like a Joe Madureira drawing. What did you guys do this weekend? I was doing Alpha Red. Outside of going to Free Comic Book Day. Anybody do anything cool? Go to church? Went to church. Eat some lasagna. We don't eat a lot of pasta. Just because my wife feeds us protein, lots of beef and pork. Not much in the way of carbs and pastas and stuff. Every now and again, she'll make some spaghetti and meatballs and stuff. But every other week maybe. But she makes a mean lasagna. And we don't really eat it. Lasagna on the regular. It's like there's definitely a special occasion meal. So we had some friends over, and we had lasagna and garlic bread. bread. We don't eat much bread either. It's a high protein, low carb kind of cooker. And I don't mind. I like meat, other than it being uber expensive to maintain the diet that she puts us on. Yeah, lasagna. Makes a need garlic bread too. I don't know how much skill that takes. But she has just enough garlic, just enough butter. Num. So just trying to render this stuff. A lot of this stuff might even become just black contrast in the name of contrast. But for right now, I'm just kind of feeling it out. I know what I kind of want to do, but I don't know if it's going to work out. So I just do. I don't want to just come in with big splotches of black and take away from some of the depth that could be hinted at with a little bit more rendering and a little bit more texture. A little bit more texture instead of just straight black shadow in the name of contrast. Or sometimes with, obviously, Mike Mignola. Is that how you say it? Mignola? I always called it Mignola until the internet came along and people would say Mike Mignola. You don't know how to say a lot of things until you hear it. My son used to dream about yaks. Look at that yaks. Yak. I was like, what are you saying, son? Those rich people, their boats, they're called yaks. Like, no, son. Those are yaks. We still joke about that. Because he would read a lot. And he liked expensive cars. He wanted to be rich, super rich. Not just supercars, but hypercars. Not just hundreds of thousands of dollar cars. He wanted the millions of dollars cars. That's the taste of my son. So in his magazines that he would read about these big cars and whatever, and the people who could afford these hypercars, he would talk about their yaks. Their yaks. However he said it. I was like, do you mean yacht? He's like, that's not how you say it. It's spelled like this. I'm like, that's a yacht, son. That's a good laugh. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. What do you think? We are getting there. Got a 2-page. Okay. He passed away in 2020. So sad. So sad. Lasagna and garlic bread. Yes, sir. I am blessed. I did get your message on Facebook about the egg coffee. I didn't click the link, but I am very interested in some egg coffee, some Vietnamese egg coffee. That's new. This guy says was in Nashville for my daughter's soccer tournament. Had to do a free comic book day, but there was about 50 in line just to get in, so I didn't have time to wait. But the next weekend was great. Okay. Was the person in front of you maybe Fong, who went to 5 or 6 of them? Fong got enough free comic for you and me both, J. Scott. So Punk says, when you're done with this drawing, you need to tear it in half. Maybe I will. And then put different legs on him. Put like a spider crab leg thing. Am I remembering seeing that right? Like they give him some like spider crab leg, bionic spider crab leg things. I think I saw him. I saw some previews. We had that, and it was a little myth. That's not my Darth Maul. But I shall trust you guys who say that it is. The juice is worth the squeeze. It's worth the time. I want the rendering, right? Because I want the shadows. I want the texture of the cloth. At the same time, I want the form of his arm. I'm struggling here. I'm going to lean on the side of the anatomy rather than the side of making it cloth-like. So is that it doesn't look too weird, because in a photograph, you can see that it has a certain form, and you give it the benefit of the doubt because it's a photograph. The shadows are falling in the right place and all that stuff. But in a drawing, you don't get. You gotta be able to assume that the form, the artist knows what the form looks like there. So it's gonna work. It's gonna work. That's gonna be fine. Oh man, I didn't even realize the time. We are gonna finish this, but I do acknowledge that we are gone. We've gone over. We have gone over, but we are on the final parts of it here. I'm just going to add contrast and kind of separate some of the details of his outfit. A black gi under a black vest. Am I saying that right? Gi? Is that the Asian karate uniform? Is the Asian guy asking non-Asian people what to call a karate uniform? I believe it's called a gi. So we want to put that outline around the horns, around the head. Really stand out. Make all those little, add some more contrast to the tattoos. The plane. Did you guys watch Fantasy Island? Let's connect over here. I don't know why that show was so popular. Fantasy Island. Welcome to Fantasy Island. I forgot there's like a little extra right there. Tattoo. That's what made me think of Fantasy Island. Tattoo. Yeah, so here it is. You gotta bring in some of the contrast, make certain things stand out. With the vest thing. Ooh. The vest thing in there. Get like a shadow. Bring out the cloth part there. Yeah. Keep going with the contrast to really sell the light source. So you give it like different line weights. I'm sure Patrick can attest different line weights when you're inking to give it that extra visual cue where the light is coming from. That extra shadow thing there. It's a little wavy because it's not metal. Thickness of it there. Gotta bring it in there, and then the shadow created by the redness of the lightsaber, and then this one because it would be hit by both sides of the lightsaber. You might get a little shadow on both sides there. Shadow running down the middle. Do the buttons. That I'll have to do. And then what happened over here? I don't remember what happened over here. And as I wrap up here, guys, don't forget that Thursday, 8 p.m. is going to be the second episode, of Can You Draw? So it'll be called Can You Draw Iron Knight? Can you draw Iron Knight? I would tell you all about Iron Knight, but I don't want to take anything away from the creator of Iron Knight, Mr. Shay. He just goes by Shay. Zero for Hire is what his YouTube channel is called. Zero for Hire. And zero is spelled with an X, X-E-R-O, for hire. Mainly a writer. He draws a little bit. Very, very little. Not his strong suit, so he would rather pay somebody. And then he's good with the AI prompts and stuff. So he supplied me with an AI version of his character for me to use as a reference. So that's always helpful. Always helpful. We have a discussion about AI and whether or not it fits into comics, where it can fit, if it can fit at all. People's thoughts on AI. Some people are like crazy against it. Just have a discussion, y'all. Let's just talk about it. Some people are going to use it. Some people aren't. Just call it out if it's important to you. But, all right. We are winding down. And hopefully on May 12th at 8:30, I hope to launch Alpha Red number 7 if I can get all the pieces together to make it work and not super confusing. I am 2.5 panels away from being done with Alpha Red number 7. And I don't want to show you all the pictures because the last 3 pages I want you to be surprised because I do some fun things at the end. And I hope that you'll have fun with me when those surprises are revealed. How the story is resolved. So, all right, guys. I really appreciate you hanging out with me every Sunday. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. Makes the algorithm happy, shows it out to other people. Last week we were at 308. I'm writing 2025. I wish I was at 2025. We were at 308 by the end of the show, the Sunday night draw stream last week, and we are now at 315. So it is on the grow, baby. I didn't even have to ask for 315. We're on our way to 320. 320. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Let me see if I can I get it. This is the thing is kind of curved a little bit, but that is what it is, guys. I appreciate you all being here. Let's go through. Let's make sure that I didn't miss anything. Fong says, when you're done with, can tear it in half, right? Sorry, I had to pop out for a second. What did I miss? I don't know what you missed. I didn't know that you popped out. I'm sorry. Sorry, bro. If you were talking about line weights, I used a brush for most everything and the micron for details. Otherwise, I was out of the room and have no idea what you asked. That was all. That was it. Line weights and such. Pretty sure I can draw. I'm pretty sure you can draw Iron Knight. Thank you for the confidence. Guys, I really appreciate you being here every week, and makes my night go quickly. And I hope that we end the weekend in a positive way with the drawing. So until next week, don't miss Thursday at 8 p.m. Can I draw Iron Knight? But if you are going to miss that, we'll see you next Sunday. All right? So thanks for hanging out, guys. Hit that button. Till then, grace, peace.
From the shadows he rises with courage in his heart, a beacon of hope. He's ready to start with faith as his armor and a fire in his soul. Alpha Red stands tall, fulfilling his role. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. Red. In a world full of chaos, where evil may lurk, he fights for the righteous, his mission and work. Guided by God, with strength from above, he battles the darkness with unyielding love. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. Alpha Red. When the night seems too long and hope seems so far, look to the skies, we'll see his bright star. With a prayer and a promise, he faces the fight. Alpha Red shines through, the beacon of light. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. Stand tall with courage, let your faith lead the way. Without the red beside us, we'll see a brighter day. For evil may tremble, but never forget, the world is protected by our hero, Alpha Red. Alpha Red. Alpha Red.